I didn't have any question about that website.
It was a little over $1 million.
Amos Jiang spent his life building something. A text from a stranger took over $1 million of it in 3 months. A wrong number, text. That's it. That's where it starts. Someone you don't know, a friendly message, a conversation that goes nowhere dangerous for weeks, and then a cryptocurrency investment opportunity that looks completely real. By the time Amos found out it was a scam, he'd lost his life savings and taken out a line of credit on his house. Stick with me on this one. Amos Jiang is a father. His son Eric was planning a wedding, the kind of milestone that makes parents want to do something. Not because they have to, because they want to be part of it in a real tangible way. Amos and his wife had built something over their lifetime. Literally. The backyard of their home was something his parents had created with their own hands. A place where things grow.
This was all built by my parents.
That detail matters because it tells you who these people are. They're not people who throw money around. They're people who build things slowly, carefully, over time, and take pride in what they've made. Eric said it simply. His father wanted to pay for the wedding. He wanted to help buy them a home.
He wanted to pay for the wedding. He wanted to buy us a home.
He wanted to use the money he'd spent his life accumulating to give his son a real start. That's the whole motivation. A father wanting to do something meaningful for his kid. So in August, when a message came in from an unknown number and blossomed, that's the word the reporter used, blossomed, into a friendship, Amos was a man with a purpose and a heart open enough to let a stranger in. August. A text from a number Amos doesn't recognize. It's not a scam pitch. It's just a message. Friendly. Possibly a wrong number. Possibly someone reaching out. Amos texts back. They talk. Over weeks, a friendship develops. The kind of connection that feels real because it's given time to feel real. No rush, no ask, just conversation. This is pig butchering. The name comes from the idea of fattening a pig before slaughter, building trust, building relationship, building genuine warmth before the moment the ask comes. University of Texas researchers studying the scam between 2020 and 2024 found that criminals have likely stolen more than $75 billion in cryptocurrency through this method alone. $75 billion from people who responded to a text. The ask, when it came, felt like a natural extension of the friendship. The person Amos had been talking to for months mentioned a cryptocurrency investment opportunity, a platform called UpUp Fashion. They'd been using it themselves, apparently doing well. Amos should try it. I didn't have any question about that website, Amos said.
I didn't have any question about that website.
Why would he? He wasn't trusting a cold pitch from a stranger. He was taking advice from someone he'd spent months getting to know. The trust wasn't manufactured in a day. It was cultivated over an entire season. He invested. The platform showed him returns. He invested more. The balance climbed. Everything looked exactly like it was supposed to look. Over the course of roughly 3 months, August through mid-November, Amos handed over everything. His life savings, gone into the platform. And when that ran out, he took out a line of credit against the house, the home his parents had built, the backyard where things grow. He borrowed against it to keep investing in something that was already gone. This is the cruelest mechanic of pig butchering. By the time a victims consider withdrawing, they're shown such compelling returns that pulling out feels like the wrong move. There's always a reason to put in a little more. There's always the suggestion that the big payout is just ahead. And the person encouraging you isn't some anonymous voice on a phone. It's the friend. The one you've been talking to for months. The one you trust. The platform UpUp Fashion was a fraud. Detective Michelle Taylor of the Peachtree City Police Department in Georgia was the one who first connected the dots. She was investigating her own case and found a list of 24 potential victims across 12 states. Amos Jiang's name was on it. A detective in Georgia was the one who called the Woodbridge Police Department in Connecticut to say, this man might be a victim. That call triggered the call to Amos. In mid-November, the Woodbridge Police Department called Amos Jiang and told him it was a scam. The money, over $1 million plus whatever he'd borrowed against his home had been transferred to an account in Hong Kong. By the time anyone was looking, the account was already being shut down. That's how the operation works. They open accounts, target multiple victims simultaneously across multiple states, drain everything fast, and close before anyone starts asking questions. They open these bank accounts, they target quite a few victims all at once, and then they shut them down before they're even discovered, Detective Taylor said. The FBI and the Secret Service were both notified. A dead end in most directions.
A lot of times the money's gone and it's a dead end from there.
Look, if this story is making you think twice about a text you've gotten recently, that's the whole point. A share right now puts this in front of someone who might need it before they respond to a wrong number. Do that now. Back to the Jiangs. Amos and his wife were facing the possibility of losing the house. The money taken out against it on the line of credit meant that if nothing was recovered, they'd have to sell, losing the home their parents built, the backyard where things grow, the place they'd planned to help their son launch from. There's a small piece of news here that isn't devastating. Eric says his parents' bank was able to recover a small portion of the money, enough that it hadn't yet left the country when the fraud was flagged. It wasn't close to the full amount, but it was enough. Enough to let them stay in their home. They described feeling relieved and grateful for a fraction of what was taken, because the alternative was losing everything. That's where the bar ended up. Grateful to keep the house after losing over $1 million because at least they didn't lose the house too. Amos came forward because he said it's important for people to know this is happening.
I think it's just incredibly important to let people know that this is happening.
He didn't do it for sympathy. He did it because he knew the scam would keep running, and he didn't want someone else to be on that list of 24 victims across 12 states. He wanted to be the warning. Between 2020 and 2024, pig butchering scams alone likely stole more than $75 billion in cryptocurrency worldwide. Not total fraud, this one category. This one specific playbook, wrong number text, manufactured friendship, fake investment platform, vanishing act. The reason it works at this scale is time. Most scams are fast. A phone call, a fake fee, a wire transfer. Pig butchering is slow. Weeks of conversation before any ask, months of returns on a fake platform before the withdrawal is blocked. By the time the victim realizes what happened, they've had a real relationship with the person who robbed them. That's not just a financial violation, it's a personal one. And the recovery landscape is nearly empty. International transfers, offshore accounts, cryptocurrency that moves without a paper trail, platforms that dissolve overnight. Detective Taylor put it plainly. A lot of times, the money's gone and it's a dead end from there. The FBI and Secret Service are involved in cases like this. Arrests are rare. Recovery is rarer. The Jiangs were able to stay in their home after a small portion of the money was recovered before it left the country. The majority of the over $1 million loss has not been recovered. The fraudulent platform UpUp Fashion has been shut down. Investigation by the FBI, Secret Service, and multiple local agencies is ongoing across 12 states. The friend who texted Amos in August has never been identified. Amos Jiang wanted to pay for his son's wedding. He wanted to help buy them a home. He spent his life building something and he wanted to share it. A stranger sent him a text in August, spent 3 months becoming his friend, and took over $1 million before November was over. The backyard his parents built is still there. They get to keep it. Barely. And only because a detective in Georgia happened to be working the right case at the right time. That's how close it was. I'm Jack. If this made you want to block the next unknown number that texts you, do it. Forward this to someone who might not. There's another story next week. I'll see you then.